Okay, so we had a complete abortion of that live stream because, well, because I haven't done it in so long. No, actually, it's a combination of me doing live calls. It's a tech issue. So anyway, now I owe you guys a real live stream. So um, I don't know if it's going to be this week, but I'm going to get my equipment back together and do a live stream just for old time's sakes. So anyway, I just want to do a quick hangout with you because it sucked. The last one sucked, and then Mike sucked. So we're gonna just do it like everybody else does it via cell phone. So ask me anything. I can obviously talk about the news. The last thing I was talking about when my microphone went out was somebody who said that Yvette will destroy me in a debate. I'm not really interested in debating right now. Not because I don't want to debate. I want to debate, and I think we should debate. I think the topic of immigration in the black community is significant. Um, yes, we're going to do it for real. We're going to do it for real via this cell phone, for real, not via my all my gear. But I think it's important for us to have that debate. Let's see. Aaron wants to know: do you agree with RussiaGate conspiracy that TYT Pac-Man and Amy Goodman? Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. But let me finish answering the question about the debate for the third time. Um, I think it's important that we debate that topic, particularly the connections that we do have with immigrants and liberation in general. We're not free until we're all free. So I do want to debate that topic in general, but I'm super busy building something right now. And so I'm not engaging because I don't want to debate. I do want to debate. I'm just not engaging right now because 95% of my life is consumed with building something, something media related. So anyway, ain't nobody got time to entertain that foolishness. I don't. I mean, apparently a lot of people do. So here's the problem: a lot of people, and I'm not slamming on you, LaRoche. A lot of people have that sentiment. They say that don't debate because it doesn't really benefit anything. But what I found over the last couple of years is when you choose not to debate, it gives them a platform unchallenged. And when they are unchallenged, they're able to spread whatever they want to spread unchallenged. And then that grows and it festers and it becomes a group. Then it becomes a cabal. Then it grows into a whole movement. And before you know it, they have their own vernacular, their own slang and stuff. You got to Google what the hell do they mean by this? Just to understand, because they have their own entire ecosystem. And so it's hard to not debate it because when you don't debate it, you didn't do your part in letting people hear an alternative. Because here's the thing about an audience: like if your audience never hears an alternative, then unless you challenge them to be critical thinkers like I do and you all are, then you just believe whatever your host says, and we can't let that happen. So somebody wanted to know what I think about RussiaGate. I have a lot to say about that. Um, People not in the know take it as if you're avoiding it. So what the other folks are saying must be true. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta exactly Wednesday. You have to nip it in the bud. It's our job. It's our responsibility. I learned that the hard way. But right now, the reason I'm not engaging isn't because I don't want to debate. Because I do want to debate. Right now, I'm building something, and it's taking up my entire bandwidth. My entire bandwidth. I really don't. I'm really scarce in all the media that I'm doing because of what I'm building, and I can tell you more about that later. As far as RussiaGate, here's my take on RussiaGate. Why would anyone not believe that Russia got involved in our elections? I think we should start there. It's like it's a standard practice in international relations, in international policy. Nations get involved in the politics of other nations. That's what they do. To what extent? I don't know. Um, Okay, well, whatever. We'll talk in a minute. I'm talking about something right now, Ghost Rider. To what extent we don't know. We no one can really measurably say if Russia got involved and turned the election. I don't know, but the fact that they did, and I don't see why that's so controversial for some progressives to understand that. Right? It's very simple. The United States gets involved in other people's elections. The UK gets involved in other nations' elections. Russia gets involved in other people's elections. And so I think they totally did meddle in this election because they always have meddled in our elections. To what extent did they turn the election for Trump? I don't know. You qualified it a little more. I appreciate you doing that. Do I believe that that Trump is a Russian stooge? Do I believe that there's collusion? Well, let's be specific. Let's go to that meeting. Let's go to that email that Donald Trump Jr. released. Right, Donald Trump Jr. released the email saying that he had every intention on getting information on Hillary Clinton from Russia. Like, that's something he released. That's not anything else. That's not hearsay. We read the emails. I think I read it on air one time. So they had every intention of doing it. Does this reach Donald Trump? That's what the investigation is for. I don't know how far it actually reaches, but we certainly know it reached Donald Trump Jr. We know that from Donald Trump's Jr.'s emails. So I mean, I don't see what the problem is in this. Do I believe that there's a vast conspiracy and that Donald Trump has been groomed to be the Manchurian candidate since he was 12 years old? And do I believe that level of conspiracy? Absolutely not, because I don't engage in that kind of ridiculousness. That's silly. But the fact that they wanted to get damning information on Hillary Clinton as a campaign is evident by the evidence that Donald Trump Jr. released. Donald Trump Jr. released it. So, I mean, I don't know if there's anything else to from since 87. Yeah. I don't even know what else to say about it. They had every intention of colluding. They had every intention of getting information from Russia. The campaign did. Did Donald Trump himself do it? We'll see what Mueller said. I had a dream the other night. I had a weird dream. It was a really extremely realistic dream. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything at all, except that I'm too inundated with politics. But I had a dream that Bob Mueller came out and said, I have found nothing. Yeah, get over it. Let's move on. So, because no one speaks about the possibility of how it could have happened. I mean, go ahead and do it, Mr. MP13. I'm not saying it's not possible. I don't think we have to go that far, right? I don't think we have to go to the extreme for the truth to be revealed, right? It was a strange dream. Like, it felt real. I was like, damn, all this time and nothing came out. But anyway, I'm not even talking about my dreams. I don't like my dreams sometimes. Sometimes they come true. I remember I was 16 and I had a very, very vivid dream about this guy dying, and I went to his funeral. And I lie not to you, as God is my witness, or as the universe is my witness, or whatever you want to say, that dude died the next morning when I woke up. That shit scared me something serious. I was like, I don't want this ability. Whatever this is, I don't want that. But anyway, so in terms of Trump, they intended to collude via the emails that Donald Trump Jr. released. So does that reach the president of the United States? I don't know. We're going to see what Bob Mueller says. I'm not obsessed. I'm not obsessed with it one way or the other. What I am obsessed with, this is what I am obsessed with. There are 600 Russian-affiliated accounts. And when I say that phrase, I don't mean the Russian government. I mean accounts that can be traced back to IP addresses in Russia, which could be anything, right? That could be anybody. That could be a guy like me trying to make some extra money in Russia, and so he has 600 Twitter accounts that he uses to promote stuff, right? But there's 600 Twitter accounts in Russia that are promoting the hashtag walk away. And hashtag, yeah, I do too, use a VPN. But hashtag walk away is a movement that is encouraging self-disenfranchisement amongst African Americans in particular. They're encouraging black people to walk away from the Democratic Party. Now, here's the problem. They're not encouraging them to come to the Republican Party, right? They're just saying, don't vote. And I'm saying, you know what? This is the actual type of meddling that occurred, right? And this hashtag walk away is a white conservative, American conservative movement that's trying to disguise itself as an African American movement, and it's being promoted by 600 accounts that whose IP addresses can be traced back to Russia. Now that's meddling. That's what Facebook should be worried about. Facebook this on yesterday they canceled about 32 accounts that they said were inauthentic, and they one of the accounts that they canceled had an event coming up in Washington D.C. that was a counter protest to the Unite the Right rally too. So Facebook said that Unite the Right, this anti-fascist movement was inauthentic, and they pulled it down. But here is hashtag walk away, which is literally inauthentic, presenting itself as though it's African American when it's not, being promoted by Russian accounts or accounts that trace back to Russian IP addresses. And Facebook doesn't do anything about it. It got so far that the not secretary, but the Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas's wife, she posted these pictures of fake black people saying hashtag walk away. So that's the type of meddling that I'm concerned with, because they co-opt and they weaponize the language of radicalism, of black radicalism, and they use it as a tool to encourage self-disenfranchisement. So in other words, what they do is they take the language of black radicalism and they use it to give white supremacists what they wanted the whole time, which was for black folks to stop voting. All right, let me read a couple more comments. I really want to just participate with you all. Let me scroll. I can scroll up. Cool. Isn't it weird that Mueller announced those 12 Russians right before Trump went to Helsinki? No, I think it was on purpose. Well, I think that's what you're saying